It is time for another field battle. Now this field battle is going to be pretty difficult for us because we're up against the odds here. We are outnumbered by about 30 units and it's going to be a bit tough. Welcome back to A Clash of Kings, Reformers, and we're going to be... Ooh, it's going to be tough, I feel. I think this might actually almost murder us entirely. I was actually on my way after restoring myself and resting at the nearby Storm's End after our siege in the previous episode, and, well, I was actually wanting to try and catch up, you know? I was trying to catch up to our forces because they are attempting another siege in a faraway land known as Evenfall Hall, and I wanted to join them and potentially lend my assistance. Even though it may be somewhat limited, it would be kind of nice for us to participate in that siege as well. But unfortunately I was unable to get there, and this guy decided to kind of intercept me, so to speak, and as a result we are now in this battle, and we are going to have some problems because this fellow I think has some pretty decent units. I'm not entirely sure what kind of units he actually has, but it's going to be one of those times when we are going to have to try our very best to not lose too many units. And by the way, with my level up points, I'm actually starting to spec into Charisma, because someone actually did have a pretty awesome suggestion, and your suggestion basically, oh wow, as we break our lance in the first charge once again, but anyway, basically someone suggested that we spec a little bit into leadership, and that is obviously going to reduce the amount of wages that we have by a pretty considerable margin, and personally I feel like that's a really good idea. I mean, you know, usually I'd like to play as the warrior archetype. At least recently I have very much preferred playing the warrior archetype because it just makes so much sense, you know, being able to do massive amounts of damage, killing as many enemy units as is, you know, possible, and basically swaying the battle in our favor in many ways. That's generally what the warrior archetype will try to do, or at least what I will try to do with that kind of build. But at the end of the day, when you are, you know, building up your army and you're actually having a pretty sizable amount of troops under your command, you are going to need to compromise a little bit. And so I have compromised just a little, and I'm starting to spec a little into leadership. So basically I'm going to be speccing into leadership until I have about maybe 3, maybe 4 points in it, and then we'll see what happens after that. But what I'm wanting to try and do is take these guys off their mounts, because they are going to be kind of difficult for us to deal with otherwise, and obviously they do have the Stormlander Vanguards as well. Those Vanguard guys are going to be harsh, and the Lord himself is going to be pretty difficult for us to deal with as well. But thankfully my two-handed sword does have a pretty sizable reach to it, so I should have a more than, well, somewhat easy time. Yes, easier, but not simple. Now, I have been rotating around these guys for quite some time here, and how many have I... I have only eliminated 8. Very good, Elias. Very, very good. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of something here, so I guess we'll have to tell our people to move over the river, and we'll see what we can do about that. I'm hopeful that I will be able to take that guy off his horse. If I can't kill him, then at least I can remove his mount, because otherwise he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Amusingly enough, though, he's actually kind of trapped in the middle of his units, which is actually fantastic. So I'm going to tell everyone to just charge straight on in here, because I feel like that is going to really make a huge difference. Isn't it? Isn't it going to make a huge difference? I think it is. I think, yes, look at this. This is good. This is good. Oh, wait, has he already been killed? Or has he just gotten off his mount? I think he got off his mount just now, actually, which is pretty bad, actually. So that's not too good. Anyway, let's get my cleaver. Try and do some damage. Wow, he's got an amazing helm, this guy. Oh, never mind, he's dead. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so my relation with him has gone down, as is to be expected. But that's okay, because as long as we are victorious in our efforts here, that is all that matters. So let me just hope and, well, pray that I will be able to achieve victory here. Maybe. Okay, come on now. Oh, that guy's pretty harsh too. He's got some good armor. All of these guys have good armor. Oh. Yeah, this is kind of the reason why I was like, oh yeah, let's play with the Stormlands units, because they're you know, they're pretty good, you know, decent, although their vanguards are not very well armored, but that is to be expected because they are two-handed weapon users, of course. So new enemies are arriving, they're over there, and my forces are doing okay. I'm going to get back on my mount for the moment, because what I would like to do is try and distract these guys. Try and eliminate the various, maybe some of the archers that I can get my hands on. There we go, there's one. Hello there. Yeah, okay, yeah. We've got some more people rushing across the battlefield as well, but I'm going to have to eliminate their archers, because otherwise they will win the day just because they have ranged support. So we're going to have to do a little bit of something here. I really wish I had more weapon proficiency. I really do, because it takes a lot of damage to kill someone with this proficiency at the moment. So it's not particularly good, but what can I do about it? I can't do anything about it right now, so we're just going to have to continue fighting with it and see what happens. But as you can see, I'm losing a whole bunch of my units here, which is really, really bad. But as I say, we were outnumbered, and this is basically a do-or-die situation, you know, because I was attempting to use the port nearby, you know, I was attempting to use the port to get on my ship, and it didn't really work out too well. So, yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to have to be a bit more careful of in the future. But I'm going to use my two-handed here, see if that maybe will do a little bit more damage than my cleaver. And it seems like it is obviously doing more damage, but you have to be a bit careful with it as well, because I don't have as much defense. So that's obviously a bit of a problem. How many units have I lost here? With Bryndon. Bryndon has 6 in surgery, so theoretically I should be more than fine, but I am apparently having some difficulties sustaining these units, which is really kind of shocking, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so how many have we lost? 22. That's actually not even bad. That's not even bad. I mean, total, yeah, we lost quite a few units. In general, we lost like over 40, which is really kind of bad. But thankfully, 19 of those were knocked unconscious, and the rest are dead, which is not great. I would have hoped that most of these, maybe about 10 were killed, and the remainder were knocked unconscious, but obviously you need a lot more surgery to make that kind of thing happen. Anyway, there's 14 renown, 14 morale for us. As you can see, 108 of them were killed. I killed 42. I gotta say, that's pretty decent. Not too bad. He does manage to escape, however, which is really, it's grinding my gears kind of harshly right there. And, oh, wow. Oh, look at this. Hello there. Oh, that is some nice stuff. Nice. Yeah, that is what we want to see. Okay, that's really, really cool, actually. So I'm going to just take that, and we're going to go and we're going to give this to Martin, because he needs a... Well, he obviously needs some pair of gauntlets, why not? But he also needs a shield and a helm, and we've got those for him now, so that's fantastic. He's going to be so much more effective now. And, well, Lineria needs a helm as well, but we didn't get a second one, as far as I'm aware, and I don't want to give her any gloves that will reduce her power draw, so that's obviously not a thing that's going to happen. And what about Sir Felton? He needs a shield, but we didn't get a second one, even though I should have looted that second one. So I guess I will just give him some of these gloves, improve him just a little bit there. He already has a helm anyway, so I suppose that's okay. And I think that's pretty good. All right, so I will be leveling up our forces as well. We're going to go for mounted Dragonstone Sergeants, I think, because even though the cavalry is... Ooh, super expensive. Oh my, that is kind of bad. And I now have no money. Oh dear. Alright, so because we need some cash, I decided to go into the nearby town, which was, well, just so happened to be King's Landing. And I went into the arena, asked where a nearby melee was, and it just so happened to be in Saltpans. Saltpans was the closest one to us, and so I've run all the way over here. Thankfully, basically everything is Westerlands owned. Don't know whether I should really say thankfully about that, but yeah, I guess it is thankfully at this point, because they're not at war against us yet. Not entirely sure if they will be, but... we found this, and the only guy that is actually going to be able to deal any damage to us is Sir Titus. And we'll see how he is. Anyway, let's place a bet on ourselves. I have, I think, just enough to be able to bet this. And hopefully we will be... Oh, is this him right here? I think we're actually fighting him already. Well, this is interesting. Well, I should have a pretty easy time of things, but I am going to need to accurately hit his head. As I've said multiple times, hitting the hitbox near the head is the best way of taking out armored opponents, because obviously... You know, if you hit the body armor, it's basically pointless because they have so much armor, especially if they are plated and extremely heavily armored. So yeah, this is going to be pretty easy from now on because I can basically just get out my two-handed, do as much damage. Whoa, 108 damage, Sir Felton. I'm so sorry. You're going to have a massive headache after this. It's not very good, but yeah. Anyway, I'm actually going to be so incredibly confident that I will live against most of my companions here. That I'm just going to switch to my two-handed, even if they have a bow or something. I'm literally just going to charge straight at them because I don't think they are going to be able to do that much damage to me. I mean, my helmet is not exactly great, but it's going to be enough, I think, to do some damage, you know, do some relatively good damage. So I'm actually just going to charge straight at Garrett here. Let's see if he can actually do something to me. 11 damage. That's actually not even that bad, considering I am wearing some really nice armor. Where did he shoot me? No idea. No idea where he shot me. But Maron is going to be the last guy, and he is not... He doesn't even have a weapon, so yeah, I'm going to need to get him a weapon next time we find one. But there you go. We now have 6,500 additional coins. Thankfully, you don't need to bet every single time here because, well, the mod creator obviously changed how tournaments work, and I'm pretty happy with that because if I had to bet more, I just couldn't. So it's actually rather nice that you can bet once, and then you just get that lump sum. Ah, now here's a cool thing. Oh yes, I've been waiting for this time to happen, and it has finally arrived. So the Stormlands are offering us a pretty reasonable sum of 4,600 coins for Sir Adam Whitehead, and I'm actually going to be accepting this. I think it is just I can't say no, because otherwise I'm going to lose honor, and I'm going to lose more relation with the guy in question, and a bunch of other people as well, and it's just going to make everything much more complicated, and getting that money is really, really necessary at this point. Alright, so this is actually what I was doing when the ransom came in. I was laying siege to Harrenhal, which is gonna be a pretty awesome thing for me to conquer if I can make it work. If I can't make it work, then I'm just gonna have to go back to the drawing board and go somewhere else. But it's a bit problematic really, because I basically went to my... What? They're coming out? They're coming out? I think this is preposterous. They really think that they can actually beat us by coming out of the walls? Well, they probably can. Let's face it, they probably can. They have about 10 Stormlander Knights, which are obviously pretty fantastic units. We know that. We know that they are really, really good. So this is going to be, well, problematic to say the least. And I don't know whether we're going to be able to do this, but I'm going to try my best. And I'm still kind of flabbergasted about them actually coming out here, because them coming out has made it so much easier for us to deal massive damage to them. And if they'd stayed up there on the ladders, they would have our number. I think they probably would have easily achieved victory. But now it's completely different. They have turned the battle on its head. This is crazy. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure why they decided to do that, but anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by their extreme, well, bravery or foolishness, either one. I went to my villages, or the Dragonstone villages, shall we say, recruited about 25 or so Dragonstone levies, and then just leveled them up as quickly as I could into man-at-arms, and then I went here immediately, because basically I need to act quickly if I'm going to be able to take this. If I can't take this, then we're not going to really have a castle in a decent amount of time. It's going to take us much, much longer to get any kind of fief where we can garrison things. So I'm just hopeful that we will be able to achieve victory here. If we can, then this is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be really good, actually. But if I can't, then I'm not entirely sure where I'm supposed to go after this. But, well, we'll just try our best. I have a good feeling about this, but I also have a bad feeling about it. So I guess we're just going to try, and we'll see what happens. The fates will, you know, do with us what they will, I suppose. And we'll just see if maybe we will achieve victory in some way. This is kind of harsh, actually. We're losing a lot of units, but I think that is obviously just to be expected. I mean, Clash of Kings is kind of that mod. It has transformed into that mod, shall we say, because previously when I played, it wasn't as, shall we say, bloodthirsty. You know, it wasn't wanting all of these guys to give up their lives basically in pursuit of the siege success. So maybe it's just been a bit changed a little bit. You know, the armor's changed. Maybe it's just because I'm using Dragonstone units. It could be because obviously Dragonstone's pretty lightly armored in comparison to some others. So anyway, we're hopefully going to be okay here. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is after I have taken ownership, if this is a big if they give me ownership of Harrenhal, which they might not, but if they do, then I will garrison it with the best possible units that I have available to me, so levies. Yeah, levies. That's basically what I have at the moment. And then I think what I'll do is I will try to level up a bunch of Dragonstone Halberdiers, and then I will go to Essos, because someone actually mentioned a really, really cool strategy for getting money as well, maybe not even as Dragonstone, but because Dragonstone is extremely good with their halberdiers and so on and so forth, it might make sense for us to go and kill some Dothraki, because Dothraki, of course, are primarily cavalry. Not entirely sure how it's going to go with the horse archers, because the horse archers might make things kind of uncomfortable, but the point is that we can go with halberdiers, which are designed to defeat cavalry, and we can defeat, well, only cavalry armies, in other words, Dothraki units. But if they have horse archers, then it might be a bit difficult in itself. But that is a, you know, it's a plan, and it's definitely something that we might want to think about. Because if we can try to make some money that way by taking them prisoner, or whatever the case may be, then I think that might be pretty cool. Ah. Yes. This is, I am actually not going to take these guys. There's a simple reason why. They're so expensive. They really are so expensive. I'm not entirely sure if I should, though. I mean, just think about this. Weekly wage, 318. It is literally 600 plus dinars every single week just for 2 units. Personally, I'm not willing to pay that, so I'm just gonna continue onward, and we will just take a bunch of other things here, and yeah, I think that's fine, I suppose. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna request that it be awarded to us, and we'll see what it's all about. Oh, there's actually guest quarters? I might check those out. Well, something kind of bad has happened. But something kind of good has happened at the same time. As you can see, our weekly budget is just about getting me in the positive. But that just means that I'm going to have to do some more melees, and I will have to go and construct some more dye works or iron works or something along those lines somewhere else, because we're basically just about getting above even there. And the bad thing is that Storm's End has been taken by the Stormlands. Yeah, by the Stormlands. I don't even know what the Dragonstone are doing, to be honest, because they actually just awarded it. They did just award Storm's End to Sir Justin Massey, and I thought to myself, he's going to be pretty good because he's the Marshal at the moment, and I thought he would be a fine person to defend Storm's End against any interlopers, but apparently that has not happened, and things are not going well over there. But as you can see, Stormland's offering us 4,800, going to be accepting that as well. That's going to be added to the treasury. In the treasury right now, we have about 10,000 dinars, which is actually pretty cool, because that could be then used to invest in weavery and dye works or something along those lines. Maybe just a whole bunch of ironworks or something. But as you can see, there's actually someone that has appeared here, and he only has 102, so we should be able to defend here. I only have 56. There are 23 in the garrison as it is right now. So I think what I might want to do is level these guys up and then just recruit some Westerlands units from around the area here and then put them in the garrison, or just keep them in my army just for the moment while we defend this. But as it stands right now, I'm going to end this episode off here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.